In this video, we're going to show how soft factors such as trust, motivation, sense of ownership, and knowledge sharing can influence a project's success. Specifically, we will see how a Norwegian oil drilling company managed to turn a failing mega project into a project success. The project in question is the Ivar Aasen oil drilling project. Ivar Aasen is an offshore oil field located in the North Sea. The Norske had to carry out a mega project to construct a production, drilling, and living quarters platform for the field. Being a new player and the Ivar Aasen project being their first major development project, the Norske began to execute the project under enormous uncertainties regarding the market situation, access to suppliers, and had a very stringent time schedule. The market was flooded with projects, and the subcontractors were reluctant to work for the Norske since they were not well known. Despite all odds, management decided to instill a first oil date as the project's ultimate target. The project began in 2008 when Ivar Aasen field was discovered by a new operator, the Norske. In 2010, a partnership between Statoil, Berggass, and the Norske was established to extract the field. In 2011, the project was mandated to have a strict coordination with the neighborhood field Edvard Grieg, complicating the project. Despite this, their plan for development and operation was approved May 2013. Mustang was contracted to provide the engineering and design of the topsides, while Sembcorp Marine in Singapore was contracted to handle construction of the facility. The project was quite comprehensive and organizationally complex, with over 140 suppliers and subcontractors from Indonesia, Singapore, Sardinia, and Norway. The project's characteristics, the significant number of interfaces, the interdependencies present, the complexity of the project, the risks involved, and of course, the costs in billions of kroners, combined with the partly insufficient handling early on in the project, led to various challenges in the Ivar Aasen project. One of the main complications of the project was the front and the engineering design, the FEED. It was assumed that the EPC contract of the topside would be awarded to the same contractor who was also responsible for the FEED. This, however, was not the case. This forced the Ivar Aasen project to delay the engineering work by half a year and spend roughly an additional 1 million work hours on engineering revisions and corrections of the FEED. As a consequence of this, the interfaces used in the project were insufficiently managed, which made it difficult for the various sub-projects to communicate with each other and with the Edvard Grieg field. Additionally, the contractors the Norske had hired did not understand the value of the project, and as such did not prioritize their parts of the project. Many of the contractors were also not sufficiently knowledgeable of the tools they were hired to use, which caused even further delays. Due to the issues experienced in the initial phase of the project, the administration demanded strict follow-up from the contractors, which could easily be interpreted as mistrust, as well as having decreased the contractors' sense of ownership of their sub-projects. A one-team environment was not in place before 2015, well after the project's beginning. If the environment was in place earlier, the sub-projects might have had an easier time building off each other and understanding the importance of the project as a whole. So how did the project finish as a resounding success despite all these issues present in the initial phases? One key element was the first oil deadline. Despite all the problems and delays, the target date for the first oil was never changed. The constant deadline gave the project a clear goal and a sense of urgency and priority. This aided in creating an efficient and motivated team. During the project, the CEO set publicly known milestones, which gave a perception that the top management had faith in the completion of the milestones within the deadlines, lowering uncertainty within the staff. Early on in the project, the management relinquished control over the sub-project, an act of trust which proved vital for the project. By signaling to sub-projects that they were trusted to complete their project at their own terms, a culture of trust was established. This enabled the project to take major decisions within their own project without the need for involving the management in complex decision processes, creating a sense of ownership and autonomy within the sub-projects. Autonomy helps stimulate the employees' goals and interests and helps them intellectually express themselves. Despite relinquishing control, the project management, however, frequently gave clear feedback on the progression of the sub-projects. but otherwise let them run their own course. This again helped boosting the sense of autonomy, while also making sure the employees didn't get the feeling that their project had been forgotten by the management. Finally, the project management was highly adaptable and present within all the sub-projects, which made them able to handle problems as soon as they occurred, allowing the projects to continue smoothly. Eventually, the project was completed within the budget and on time. The field is today in full operation and producing around 23,000 barrels of oil equivalents per day.